Greetings. My name is Avni Tambi from Group 12, student at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Medical Sciences, Sevagram, India. And today I will be sharing my story, my educational journey. So, where did it all start? I was born on 19 September 2001 in Paoli, Pennsylvania, United States. I started preschool at the local private school in the year 2004. The name of my school was Penn Christian Academy. I completed the first 2 years of kindergarten and then shifted to Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh, India, with my family in the year 2006. So here's a photo of my school in the United States, Penn Christian Academy. I finished my preschool and began primary school in a local private school, the Future Kids, from the year 2006 to 2009 in Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh, India. Then I shifted to Nagpur, Maharashtra, India in the year 2009, enrolled in a private school, that is a Jain International School, resumed my primary school and studied up till 10th grade in the same school from the year 2009 to 2017. The photos do not do it justice. It was actually a really prestigious school with a really big campus, and I was very privileged to be a part of that school. Then I changed schools in the year 2017 and took up science in 11th grade to come to Centrepoint School, Katol Road, Nagpur. Even though this school was significantly smaller, but it was still a very old and prestigious school. I was really lucky to be a part of this school as well. Then in the year 2018, I changed my schools to come to 12th grade to GH Raisoni and also began preparation for my medical entrance exam in the same year. I passed out of 12th grade and got into medical school in the year 2019, which was Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Medical Sciences, Sevagram. Currently, I'm in my third year of medical school, giving my best and living in the now. So here's a photo of my school in 12th grade. And here's a photo of my current college. I've just captured a small part. Actually, it's also, again, a really big college because it's actually a hospital in which we have a medical college. So to put it in a timeline, concise, here it is. 2001, I was born. 2004, I began kindergarten. 2006, I shifted to Hyderabad and began my pre-primary. In 2009, I again shifted. I came to Nagpur, India. And then from 2009 to 17, I continued in the same school, finished my 10th grade in 2017, changed schools to come into 11th grade, then changed schools again in 12th grade in the year 2018. And finally, in 2019, I passed out of 12th grade, gave my medical entrance and got into my medical school. And right now, in the year 2022, I just entered third year of medical school. So the next part of my presentation, how the social determinants of health influenced my education. So I'll try to explain it using the rainbow model of SDH, which we were taught in our very first lecture. So the first aspect that I am focusing on is a social and community network. So in my family and in my community, education is given utmost importance. Hence, it was ensured that I got into quality schools and subsequently a quality college. Now coming to the living and working conditions, first comes agriculture and food production. The schools I went provided students with nutritious breakfast in the morning, followed by milk after our sports period, then lunch and snacks towards the end of school. So they made sure that we had a proper balanced diet, and there was never shortage of any food in our school because we lived in an agriculturally rich area as well. Next comes education. Well, the schools that I went to, they provided a top quality education with a prime focus on academics. Then comes to the work environment. Uh, when it comes to work environment, I'm actually going to talk about the environment in general. There's no work environment as such when it comes to schools, but it was a healthy, student-friendly environment with focus on academics along with other co-curricular activities such as sports, then quizzes and debates and all sorts of competitions and activities that you could think of. Coming to unemployment, which is well, not related to schools directly, but unemployment in the illiterate sections of the society served as a further boost to acquire quality education. So, what I mean by this is that there was a competition to acquire top jobs and get, good salaries. So, since there was unemployment, there was a competition which further boosted us, gave us, propelled us to get into good schools, get quality education, and thus have the upper hand in this rat race. Water and sanitation. We had access to safe water and sanitation, which ensured good health, and thus we could focus better on education. Availability of healthcare services reduced morbidity, and thus lesser days of school were missed. Also, if there were any sort of illness that we acquired in school, there was always a nurse present over there, and we had access to nearby hospitals. Then, coming to housing. Since we always had a place to sleep, rest, recover, we could focus more on academics. So, housing was the least of my worries. So, the positive influence of education and how it worked out in my favor. I'll take one example. We were taught about the importance of balanced diet in school. Malnutrition often goes unnoticed until its manifestations are severe. Education provided regarding the importance of eating a balanced diet led to better health, lesser illness, and thus facilitated better learning. I was able to focus more on education and learning and lesser on my health. So, for example, I had always been a little underweight, sometimes even anemic. But since our school emphasized on having a balanced diet, I became healthier, fitter, stronger, with more stamina. Until one day, I was actually able to join the sports team. I was a part of the swimming team. I was part of my football slash soccer team. I was part of my athletics team. So that worked out in my favor. Another example that I'm taking is the importance of reading. Reading enforces um, other lifestyle skills and increases general knowledge that cannot be done by reading only textbooks of the curriculum. More the reading you do, the more knowledge you acquire. Because of this, I was able to take part in quizzes and even win a few, strengthen my CV, get into a good college, and I'm pretty sure it will help me land a good job. Thus, improving the quality of quality of life that I have. Now, coming to the last part of the presentation, the barriers that I experienced in my educational journey. First one, due to the shifting and lack of standardization of education, it was difficult for me to adapt to the new schools easily. I changed schools in the years 2006, 2009, then in the year 2017, and then again in 18, and then in 19 I got into college. So, since there was lack of standardization, every school had its own education structure, so it took me time to adapt to it. Now, due to the rigid structure of education, I had to drop subjects which I had interest in. For example, in 11th grade, I had to choose the science stream, which focused on physics, chemistry, maths, biology. And since I had already decided that I wanted to go into the medical field, I had no interest in physics, but I still had to take physics. However, I did have interest in a little bit of history and a little bit of economics, but I could not take them because the science stream did not provide it. Next is that the high reservations in medical colleges prevented me from getting a college of my choice. Now, this is a really hot topic and controversial topic that is going on in my country right now. So, at the time of education into medical colleges, at my time, about 76% of the seats, medical seats, were reserved for certain castes of the society. And since I came under the unreserved category, I could not get into the college of my choice with the existing marks, the current marks that I had. Now, in fact, it has been projected that if reservation system had not existed, with the marks that I had gotten during my entrance exam, I could have easily gotten a college which was at least 5 to 6 ranks ahead of the current college that I am in right now. Next is the lack of quality education providing institutes in proximity of my home. So the school that I went in the year 2009 to 2017 was around 16 kilometers from my home, and it took me an hour to reach school and then an hour to come back home. So I wasted quite some time in transit. And my current college that I am in right now is 70 kilometers away from my home. So I have to live in a hostel and I can't, well, stay at home. So that is another barrier that I am currently facing. So this sums up my educational journey. I told you about my timeline. I related it to the rainbow model, the social determinants of health. I talked about two positive influences of education in my life, and I finally ended up with the barriers that I experienced. So, thank you for being such patient listeners. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Bye bye.